1 week after the French police killed the assassin Mohammed Merah in his flat in Toulouse, the former head of the French Intelligence Office for Territorial Surveillance, Yves Bonnet, came out to spill the beans about Merah had been an asset of the French Secret Service, leaving implied that the French authorities purposely delayed the investigations when he started his murderous attacks on March 11, and that the Toulouse police was ordered by the French Interior Minister to kill Merah during the raid, rather than arrest him and take him for further interrogation.
Welcome back. You're watching live from Paris on France 24. James Creedon has joined us in the studio because it is time for Media Watch. Good evening to James.
Indeed. Good evening, Laura.
Good to see you. Now, everybody, of course, still talking about this atrocity here in France. Mohammed Merah, who shot dead 7 people, including, of course, 3 small children. And there are a lot of questions and a lot of allegations and a lot of confusion. Just tell us a bit about what you've got.
All right, well, first of all, I think there was a rush to categorise him in the early days of the story. He was either a terrorist with links to Al-Qaeda or he was a lone gunman. I suppose the news moves so quickly nowadays that it's easy to form narratives that aren't fully accurate, right? Now, what we're seeing today is a more nuanced, more complex picture emerging. Now, a former head of one of the main French intelligence agencies, a guy called Yves Bonnet, he spoke to the media today and he said that Mohammed Merah was known as an informant to the Secret Service in France more than as an Islamist, so that he had links with them in the past. Now, France Télévisions, so that's already a stunning claim.
So that they're saying that he informed on terrorists. He told the French Secret Service, he gave them information about terrorists in Afghanistan.
That's right. He had connections with members of the French Secret Service. He was an informant as regards jihadi movements. That seems to be the claim. Now, France Télévisions, they asked a terrorist expert on this, or an intelligence agency expert, who said, look, it's perfectly possible that he would have been perhaps an informant. He had tried to work for the French army at one point, but he wasn't taken on. He had tried to work for the French Foreign Legion, so maybe he would have also been willing to help out the French Secret Service. Now, perhaps most interestingly, the Italian newspaper Il Foglio got their hands on some information. They say that Merah went to Afghanistan and Israel in September 2010 with French Secret Service assistance. Now, apparently the aim of this, according to Il Foglio, was to gain the confidence of jihadis by showing them that he could get into Israel with a European passport in order to carry out attacks. So to build links with certain jihadi movements as a sort of an informant. So it's a very, very complex picture if this proves to be true. Worth pointing out that the head of the French Secret Service, Bernard Scorsini, has denied all of this. Has said that he wasn't an informant. But what we are seeing certainly is a more complex picture emerging than perhaps we initially thought to be the case. And
let's not forget that the murderer himself did say during that standoff with police that he was working for Al-Qaeda, didn't he? That's what he claimed.
That's right, that's right. So, really, where is the truth in all of this? It appears to be a cloudy picture that is emerging. Who knows? All
right, now, of course, he filmed the murders of those 7 people, including, of course, the small children. He had a camera strapped to his chest. This video then made its way to the international news channel Al Jazeera.
That's right.
They've decided today not to play those images.
That's right. You can see here on their website, Al Jazeera not to air French killings video. Now, the media are pointing out that there are many reasons why they would choose to do that, or choose to not play the videos, because, first of all, massive pressure from the families of the victims not to do so, from all sides. Also, public opinion clearly would not be in favour of it. And also, the French authorities, including Nicolas Sarkozy, have been pretty much saying, if you try to do that, if any television channel tries to do this, we'll go out there and scramble their signals, even on their territory, which is a pretty extraordinary thing for Nicolas Sarkozy to say. We'll go to wherever this channel is broadcasting and scramble it. Right. But clearly a will there to make sure that these pictures do not come out.
OK, now let's move on to another story. The socialist leader, François Hollande.
But he didn't show any sign of fundamental...
It's pretty much obvious that the mainstream media is trying to minimize the impact of the statements of Yves Bonnet, for tricking the public into believe that Mohammed Merah was just a snitch for the French Secret Service. But things didn't get any better after the president of the extreme right-wing party National Front, and candidate to French presidency, Marine Le Pen, started exploring the case for her own benefit, and made public statements implying that Merah was in the payroll of the French government, and had several passports for his trips to Middle East. How does she know that? I have no idea, but what looks evident is that the French authorities are lying their asses off about this case, and that Mohammed Merah was very likely a Manchurian drone, perhaps programmed by CIA and Mossad while he was in the Middle East. And the last reports of mainstream media, about the existence of a third man who took part in the murderous actions in Montauban and Toulouse, suggest that the French authorities are attempting to use a decoy to divert the public attention from the involvement of Mohammed Merah with the French Secret Service. So it seems that despite the fact that the Illuminati Freemason Zionist apparatus succeeded in carrying out a 9/11 type of inside job in Toulouse, the whole thing is actually backfiring against the French government and suggesting that there's a very thin line between the Muslim Jihad agenda and the Secret Service of the United States, Israel and France, towards the New World Order. And above all, it consists in another blatant evidence of the existence of a shadow government, fabricating disasters and murderous events for fulfilling this evil agenda.